With Wicked topping the box office, Ariana Grande now becomes only the fourth female artist in history to have a #1 album, #1 song, and #1 movie in 1 year. In early March 2024, Ariana Grande released her 7th studio album, Eternal Sunshine, which debuted at #1. The first 2 singles released off that album, Yes and We Can't Be Friends, also debuted at #1 on the Hot 100. And now, of course, Wicked is the #1 movie in the country. The only other female artists to do this are Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and Jennifer Lopez. In 2023, we saw Taylor Swift release Speak Now, Taylor's version, and 1989, Taylor's version. Both albums went to #1. In addition, her song Cruel Summer also shot to #1, which is surprising because it was a song from a completely different album. And then, of course, she also released the Eras Tour film concert, which also went to #1 at the box office. Beyonce accomplished this feat in 2006 with the release of the Pink Panther movie. Later that year, she released her sophomore album B-Day, and then later the single Irreplaceable. Both the album and the song went to #1, Irreplaceable being #1 for 10 weeks straight on the Billboard Hot 100. Beyonce also technically does this again. At the end of 2008, Beyonce released her 3rd studio album, I Am Sasha Fierce, alongside the single Single Ladies. Both the album and the single went #1. Only 5 months later, she released her film Obsessed, which also topped the box office. So while it wasn't in the same tracking year, it was still accomplished in a 1-year span. And lastly, we have Jennifer Lopez, who was actually the first to accomplish this. In 2001, Jennifer Lopez released her 2nd studio album, J-Lo, and that same weekend, her film The Wedding Planner also debuted at #1 at the box office. This feat made Jennifer Lopez the only entertainer in history to have a #1 album and #1 film simultaneously in the same weekend. And then in September 2001, her song I'm Real the Remix featuring Ja Rule also went to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. We have no choice but to stand.